Hello there, and welcome to Pink Milk, your Star Wars podcast for us superfans.
And for those of us who are forced to listen to them.
Today is someday, and someday we're talking sisters with a Z.
Sisters with a Z?
That's right, Thomas, you ready?
I'm ready.
Drink up!
You drink up.
Hello there, Pop Pop.
Hello there.
How are you?
I am fine.
Well, I just think that's so fantastic. And what's even more fantastic, Thomas,
Is that voice you're doing?
are these voices. Our friend Rafaela, she told me that she really liked my voices, so they may have to come back more often.
You're reminding me of somebody who lives down south.
I was speaking with my mother just the other day, and she moved herself down to Mississippi just a few short years ago. But she sure has adopted this certainly beautiful sounding southern drawl.
She sure has. Sorry, Grandma Debbie.
Well, welcome everyone to Pink Milk Husband and Husband. I am your host, Brian. With me, as always, is my better half and your better host, Thomas.
Hello.
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 I need my three hellos.
Hello.
There we go. It would not be a show without those O's. Boom, I am on fire.
Boom.
So I have to tell you, I am very excited about this upcoming interview that I did with Brigitte Colley, a.k.a. Trace Martez. I can't believe she said yes.
I know, that's pretty awesome, huh?
Very awesome.
Very awesome.
I'm very excited. You know what else is awesome?
What else is awesome?
This email I received from our friend Alex.
Alex.
I've been following the Pink Milk podcast for over a year now, and I haven't missed a podcast episode yet. I especially love the Pink Milk After Dark crew. No shade, Thomas. Those episodes, live streams, and the amazing chemistry between the hosts, including the newest host, Chase, who is a welcomed addition. Not only do I enjoy the podcast for its quality, great conversation, and entertainment quality, but I most appreciate the beautiful community of LGBTQ plus Star Wars fans that I have discovered through this podcast. I struggled for years to find a Star Wars fandom community podcast show that is LGBTQ plus, where queer voices and discussions can be heard, but also a positive and uplifting representation of the Star Wars and geeky LGBTQ plus community. I am very grateful to have discovered this wonderful podcast and community. I sincerely hope that you continue to grow your audience and wish you nothing but success. I will, of course, continue to support you in everything you do and keep sharing and introducing as many people as possible, especially the lovelies who are also seeking a Star Wars podcast for queers by queers. Love you all.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Really, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love Alex. It's always a ball of sunshine. And the fact that they shared that was just really, honestly, it was really touching.
Thank you,
really
Alex.
Great. And yeah, I don't really know how to follow those things. Like, it's just so nice.
Just
You know
thank
what
you.
I mean? Yeah,
and honestly, it's very appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you.
Even if you do like the pink milk on the Friday night more than me. Just playing with you. It's my personality.
No tea, no shade.
I'm playing with you. No, honestly, thank you so much for reaching out.
Honestly, my favorite part that Alex said in that was when they mentioned the Steam Queens in the Steam Room. I am telling you, they are the nicest chat room ever. Like, they are so welcoming.
They are.
I go to live streams, when I can. Not as much as I would like to, but when I can. And no shade towards any of the other shows, but a lot of chat rooms on YouTube, the people are more interested in just speaking to the hosts and just hearing themselves type.
Oh.
And that's great and wonderful. But every time I see a new face in the Steam room, the Steam Queens are so like, welcome, Tom. So happy to have you. They're just like a genuinely wonderful group of people. And like to be a part of that once a week is just really something special.
You know, they really are. I know the times that I do jump on, they're always like, hey. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's appreciated for sure.
It's just, I don't know. It's really amazing. Pink Milk has brought me so much wonderful things in my personal life this last few years, and it's really, really wonderful. Like meeting Brigitte Colley.
Exactly.
Which we're all about to do. And I'm telling you, she is so incredibly lovely. Like,
and did you tell everybody who Brigitte Colley is?
Trace Martez.
Trace Martez. That's another show.
It's a good thing you didn't do the interview.
I listened to it though, and I got to say she was like super fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful, just a really, really beautiful person.
Yes.
Too. Just very, very great spirit and very amazing. I'm impressed.
Engaged.
Very much so.
I could feel the energy we were sharing, like through the computer, like engaged, like in it and like focused. It was just, I'm just like, honestly, I'm so grateful. Like those characters mean so much to me. You were going to hear a story. I'm not sure it's the most professional interview. I mean, I kind of fanboyed out a little bit because I really love the Martez sisters.
For weeks, people. He was for weeks fanning out. I heard it every day.
I'm like,
I'm excited for it.
Is it going to really happen? What she does? All of it. I was like, oh my God, what if like I'm just getting played and it's like some like 55-year-old dude on the other end saying they're this person, and you know.
Well, that it definitely was not.
No. I did fanboy out a little. I got a little emotional. Like, surprise is no one who listens.
Surprise.
Yeah. If you're listening to us for the first time because of this interview, welcome. Also, I think Pink Milk, the brand itself, honestly, is a lot of laughter, a lot of heart,
a little bit toot.
A little bit of tea, a little shade. I do on Friday nights.
Very little though.
I do have my tiki tea.
I step off for that.
But in equal parts, tears sometimes. Like it just happens. And if you're in the After Dark crew, there's a lot of thirst. We get kind of horny. It is a Friday night.
Okay, this is a kid's show, right? No, it's not.
No. Anyways, get ready for this really wonderful conversation. I'm very appreciative. Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for breathing such beautiful life into Trace Martez, because she is amazing. And as I say many times, we all know you're coming back.
We hope you're coming back anyway.
All right, Thomas, you ready?
I'm ready.
Drink up.
Drink up.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome, Brigitte Colley, a.k.a. Trace Martez.
Hey! What's up, guys?
Anyone who listens to Pink Milk knows that personally, I am a massive fan of the Martez sisters, and Trace and Rafa are amazing. Real quick, I have to get this out there because I do have a tad uncomfortable relationship with one thing. Ahsoka needs to end up with one of them. And it makes it very uncomfortable to ship one character and two sisters.
Oh man, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You know, who knows who she'd lean towards? I know that. Go ahead.
She needs to be with Trace.
You think so?
His Trace is pretty rock solid.
Yeah.
Rafa,
Rafa can be questionable, even with me, really, or with Trace, rather. Yeah.
But anyways, we're very, very big fans of the Martez sisters here. Fantastic. And thank you for being here. I sent you a message during the Bad Batch when I had an uncontrollable amount of glee when I saw y'all there. I was beyond.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you.
Oh, it was totally unexpected for all of us super fans. So,
you know, it was totally unexpected for me too, because you signed these NDAs and you have no idea where you're going to go. Everything has code names. So I got a message and they're like, "Oh, we just saw Trace on Bad Batch," and I'm like, "What? Wait a minute, when? What?" So I'm like, nobody told me what's going on. And then I went on and I realized, yeah, that's definitely the episode that we recorded. That's definitely the storyline. That's definitely what's going on.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
That is beyond.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you can't tell, but I'm waiting to see y'all again. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. You know, I can't say much.
So, real quick, let's get some of these things out of the way. Let's get non-Star Wars stuff out of the way, because I plan on sharing a story with you that I haven't shared on the mic yet.
Awesome.
Because Trace and Rafa mean so much to me as a person and really helped me through one of the worst times of my entire life. So one of the things we do on our show all the time, just to catch you up real quick, my husband and I adopted 3 kids, which I shared this with you briefly, but through the foster system. And so I relate to Trace and Rafa already just as 2 children who lost their parents and now are off, somewhere else. But on Pink Milk, we queer code a lot of things because, quite frankly, there aren't any queer characters on screen. In Star Wars, we do a lot of that. And we interject our own stories into Star Wars because that's how I've always watched Star Wars. So we do a lot of that. So hopefully we'll get some insight into how Trace was created from that perspective, if that makes sense. But first question for you. Who is Brigitte?
Brigitte is I. Well, I think I'm a person who most importantly cares for family, for friends, human beings in all colors, sizes, shapes, genders, preferences. I like to see everyone as an equal, and I appreciate expression, and I appreciate kindness. I appreciate creativity, food. God, I love food. Chocolate. Let's not get into food. It'll never end. And I think if someone had to define me in one word, I would hope it'd be love.
Aww. Well, I can feel it so far through the screen. That's great. That's really
awesome.
Wonderful. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Do you bring any of yourself into your characters that you play? I am not an actor. A lot of us listening are not actors. So I always find that stuff really interesting. Where does the lines blend and blur and go in between?
I definitely think you bring a bit of yourself into every character and everything you do, because it also depends where you're at in your life, what you're, we go through so many phases. So sometimes a character arrives and it aligns in a way that others don't. Sometimes most of your characters don't align that way. And it hasn't always happened this way, but sometimes you feel it. Like, I remember sending out this audition and there were all these NDAs. I had no idea what the heck anything was, everything had weird code names. Even I think the characters had, like, I don't remember exactly, but I bet you I could find it and tell you. And I remember reading it and being like, I really like this character. She's cool. And sending it out. And I felt that. And shortly after the callback and then the booking, and, you know, it's happened to me with other characters where I was at a point in my life that was, I felt connected to something and it sort of aligned. And I think it's happened to a lot of people. So I think you definitely bring some part of yourself to everything you do.
That's awesome. Do those characters bring themselves back to you too? Or I'm sure maybe not all characters, but are there characters that affect you later that maybe make you see the world a little differently afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is where the writers really come in. Obviously there's something beyond, that greater good, I like to call it, or that something beyond us that aligns things, or we align with it. But yeah, I think that's when the writers come in and they just move you in a way that they give you permission to go on the ride, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then you take fragments of that experience and it kind of pours into the rest of your life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Were you a Star Wars fan ahead of time? If not, are you now?
Yeah. Okay. So, I had a boyfriend in high school who was so into it, and I never understood the craze. It's like, what is wrong with this guy? And I remember everything was great till we got to Star Wars, and then I was like, I just can't keep up. What is happening? It was too much. I was overwhelmed. Yeah. And so I never got into it. And then after this, of course, and for me, it came from a place of just the utmost admiration and respect for my team. And then seeing it all come together and then understanding, oh, this is why people are so obsessed. It all makes sense now. So for the longest time, I was like, what am I going to do? What if I don't get into it? And I remember my husband was like, you're going to get into it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Like, but what if I can't? What if it's not me? He's like, you're going to be fine. Just relax. We'll watch it. Just relax. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And, especially watching Clone Wars, which I thought was some of my friends had grown up watching. I thought it was a kid's show, right? So will I be able to? No. I mean, I understand the concept of it being of I guess kid oriented, but I definitely don't think it's a kid's show. I think it's definitely for adults too. So it's universal. It's a universal show. Yep.
Yeah, so, Clone Wars is my favorite Star Wars. Like personally, like I am old and I grew up with Star Wars, but like Clone Wars that's my jam. It's everything. But that's funny because my husband, who does the show with me, is not a fan. And
my gosh,
that's kind of we built a lot of the show off of that. And I remember early on, because I'm sure you talk to and meet plenty of Star Wars nerds like me, where it's like the first 5 seconds you meet someone, they're a Star Wars nerd. Like, it's just obvious, right? Doesn't take much. It's Star Wars, blah blah blah. But I remember very early on, he found out, and he had watched them before we had our first date, and I was like, oh. This is a good dude. Like, that's good on you. Because a few months before, I had spent a few weeks with this person, and they had never seen Star Wars, and I was like, "Oh God, like this is like you're a solid dude, but like this isn't gonna work if you haven't done that." So I bought him the original trilogy on DVD, and then like a month later, he had never watched it, and this is probably gonna make me sound like a horrible person, but I broke up.
You were done. Yeah.
I was like, he's like, over a movie? I'm like, it's not a movie to me. Like, it's a really big deal. I thought I expressed that. And anyways, turns out great because here I am, perfect person who did watch it. But it's funny because he had the same thing when we started a podcast. He was like, didn't want to disrespect anybody. He's like, what if I'm not into it? I don't know anything. And I don't want to be disrespectful because I love how passionate you are about it. And he's like, oh, he's kind of there. He's not. He likes to call himself a casual fan.
Okay.
But he's definitely in that same journey of like, oh no, I kind of get it. Oh yeah, there's more here than what then I call it the pew pew pews. You know, there's stuff underneath it all.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. What is the recording process like? And like how, because it was probably a long time, like, I don't know when you recorded these things, any of that kind of stuff.
I think we did, I believe 2019. And then I think we had a pickup, maybe 2020 right before. Oh, no. Actually, I think we did Bad Batch 2020. 2019, we did Clone Wars, and that was magical. I mean, you know, working with D. Bradley Baker, working with everyone, it's just like, it's out of this world. You're in those rooms and you're seeing talent that you didn't even know there was the capacity of having such immense talent in one body. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
You're like, how is that possible? Just Steve jumping from voice to voice. He does a whole scene by himself, just jumping from character to character, and he's able to pitch everything. You feel like you're seeing a superhuman. I kid you not.
That's amazing.
In action. And also just the directing, the tweaks, the trusting. It's a lot about, you know, you do anything in life is about that level of knowledge. Obviously, you need to get your training, but trust is so important. And I really feel like I saw everyone just trusting each other, trusting the director, trusting the process, the engineer, lots of laughter. Everyone's just, it's a great time. It's always, I wish people could see more of that because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you work with the amazing Dave Filoni?
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah. I sure. I'm
going to fanboy out for a second. What is it like? Because he's everything.
I know. He's like one of those masterminds. He is, in the Pinky and the Brain. He's the brain. That's who he is. He is the brain. He's wonderful. He has an easiness about him. You speak to him and you immediately feel like your brain capacity just could not possibly keep up. His brain just goes so fast. Everything from his choice of words, his jokes. He's so funny. Oh my God, he has the best humor. Everything, his direction was always spot on. Even if there was a moment of doubt, he'd just be like, am I going to let you down? You know, I got you. It's going to be okay. I know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. So when you have a director like that, you're like, okay, yeah, you do know what the hell you're doing. All right, you are. Of course you know what the hell you're doing. You're Dave Filoni. So you feel very supported. You know, it's very different from working with somebody that's kind of starting out or doesn't have that level of expertise and confidence. So it's wonderful. I wish everyone could hang out with Dave. He's great. And the entire team backing him up. They're just wonderful people.
That's awesome. So you said you did Clone Wars in 2019, Bad Batch in 2020. Yeah. So was this during the pandemic?
Yeah, I recorded from home which was different, but easy. It was just a pickup. I think it was one phrase we needed to pick up. So it was yeah, it wasn't a big deal, but yeah.
Because I would imagine if you, like some of these actors that are, you know, like D. Bradley Baker has been around since the beginning of Clone, like that has to be so hard to go from a room where you're reading with everybody, to all of a sudden at home, and you're not. Like that, I can't even imagine how that would be.
Yeah, I'm sure that if it would have been a big scene, they would have had us on some kind of call or using this thing called Source Connect. And then you can work with other actors. You can work with the studio. It's pretty great. I mean, people are so far ahead. And for some of the sessions we had to speak with, I forget the name of, somebody in Australia. They were traveling to Australia at the time. So we couldn't, we had to get a hold of them like via like a Skype almost session, but they were hooked in. They were at a studio over there. So, you know, they find ways to work it. That's the beauty of voiceover.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you do both, right? You do on-screen and voice work?
I do.
Is it just like night and day? Is there...
So I guess voiceover lets you get a little more weird. If that makes any sense. So when you're in the booth, sometimes you like, let's say I'm drowning or something, I could literally grab a glass of water and it's a drowning scene and I'll be like, I could choke on my water. Nobody knows I'm doing that, but I'm literally doing that to create that effect. Yeah. I could never do that on camera. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have that freedom of getting weird, is what I like to call it. And also, you're like, if you're running in place, to get your on camera, you'd run. And sometimes, depending on how fast the camera's following you, sometimes you have to run slower and kind of work your breath up to create that feeling. Whereas if I'm in the studio, I just have to be careful with my feet not to hit the floor too hard because it'll seep in, but I could have that effect, right? I could just run in place a bit, like shake myself up. Those are things that
awesome.
Yeah, physical freedoms, right? That you have, that you have to be a little bit more conscious of what you're doing on set, because the camera's over here, the boom is over here. Sometimes you're mic'd. Depends what frame you're on, how close the camera is on you. So it's all those, like, it's technicalities, really.
Yeah. Well, that I would imagine goes back to some of that trust too, because I would imagine, at least for me, who's not you, to get that weird is a level of vulnerability.
Oh,
that you have to be able to get to. You know what I mean? That's
you got to be able to laugh at yourself a whole lot in this career, a whole lot.
Well, that's in life in general, right? We can never take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, please don't. It's a waste of time.
100%. So Star Wars is a big deal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's very popular. What kind of response is there a level of responsibility? And again, I'm way in there, so I don't even know what it's like for most people. I can just speak to me and those like me who are everything in us is invested in this make-believe world. But is there a level of responsibility when you get something that means that much to so many people?
Absolutely. I think it goes both ways. I think it could be both positive and negative. People have preferences, people have opinions, and some embrace you, some don't. You have no control over it, So I think that, you're tested on how you react to the positive and how you react to the negative, how you embrace the positive and how you deal with the negative, because it affects anyone if somebody says something negative about their work, about anything that has to do with them. So for me, I felt a level of responsibility. Can I honor the role I've been given, and can I honor it with my talent, my appreciation for this opportunity, all the fans that know this in and out, that it's in their DNA at this point, what's my place in this galaxy, in this world, right? And do I fit? And those, I think, were probably questions that a lot of the actors ask themselves, because you feel the weight of the Star Wars world on you. You really do. And it's as much as it's exciting, it's also oh God, please don't let me mess up. And then also, what are you leaving behind? Are you teaching people through your character love? Are you teaching them compassion? Are you teaching them understanding? All that stuff. Some people finally felt seen with a Latina character in this show. For them, it was oh my God, I finally feel like I have a place in Star Wars too. That's wow. Thank you. I don't even know. I'm so on. I get goosebumps every time I think about it, because it's such a gift to be given that opportunity to help someone see themselves. So the responsibility was big. It felt the weight. I felt it.
Well, that goes, and I will apologize now. But I'm a dad who loves my boys, and I tend to get very emotional. But speaking of being seen, I think I told you this, but I have 2 children who are Latinx. I obviously am not. Their older brother is not. Their other dad is not. So there's we in our family we've got a lot to balance. They're all adopted. They've all been through the foster system. There's a lot of things that make them different already. Then you pair on two dads. Then you throw in like an interracial family. There's just a lot for them to process and to accept, and hopefully in life it will be something that makes them a very rich human being.
Of course.
But I will tell you, my youngest son recognized it right away. And that was something, we've been parents for like 4 years. And again, I love Star Wars with my entire being, and learning to see it as a father, not as a child, it's been a huge process for me. Other people, it's just TV show or a movie and they can probably whatever, but it's really, really, and to have that affect my son was a big deal. Especially my youngest, because he definitely looks different than everybody else, and it's in our family we embrace that, and I never want him to feel shame about it, so we talk about it, and it's a very open conversation. And I think you heard it in the voice. He just and he's, at the time he was 6, so it's not super obvious to him, but there's something in the feeling, right? And the Martez sisters and Ahsoka become a family, and that's an interracial family. And there are things that it helps open a conversation with him in particular. So my youngest is also, he loves Star Wars too. So it's like it's a beautiful gateway to have these conversations that are uncomfortable. Are we ever, I don't know if I'm ever doing anything right. All we can ever do is be honest and lead with our heart, right? And do the best job for our children. But to have these two characters that one looked like him that he hadn't really seen, and then we've discovered that they lost their mother, and our children didn't lose their mother in a horrible explosion during a Jedi, a war, but they lost their parents. And it's a weight as an adoptive father that we have to carry, and that the family has to carry, and honor those things, and never be disrespectful of their parents. Nothing good brought them to us, but they're still their bio parents. I feel very fortunate that our children talk about bring trust, can trust us with those kinds of conversations and bring that stuff in. But he had lots of questions, and something that I am so appreciative for in the Martez sisters in particular is Trace and Rafa's relationship. And I have to tell you, you do a beautiful job of illustrating the complexities that relationship entails, because it is a very complicated relationship. Trace is good. She's very good natured, and she was born out of tragedy. But as opposed to her sister, she went out and said, I'm going to find the best in things. I'm going to remember the best parts of my mother. Rafa, I think, focuses on the loss, and sometimes maybe too much. It's all understandable. She's not wrong for the way she feels. 100%. And now she's trying her best to take care of her sister, right? What kinds of conversations do you as actors have ahead of time? Do you have time, like in rehearsals and things like that, to have those kinds of conversations?
Not really. You're actually given the sides, and you do this thing which is called carving. And when you carve a scene, you find your story. You find what happened to you, why it happened to you, what your history is, why you're here at this moment, what do you want from the other characters, and you kind of fill all those questions in. And the minute you fill those questions in, all of a sudden you start to have an understanding of who this person is, and how to kind of ride the storyline with them, right? Go through this this wave in the story. And so you kind of have your choices that you make, and then the other actor has choices that they make, and then you go for it, which is it's almost like two musicians coming together for a jam, and they don't know what they're gonna do. So let's say they're playing jazz. One starts with the beat, and the other one starts with like a famous chord, like a standard jazz chord, right? And they're doing the same thing. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to change it a little bit because now they're going a little slower. So you're kind of dancing with each other. You're just using another writer's words, and you're writing your emotional storyline. And depending on what the other actor gives you, sometimes you come in and you're like, I think I'm going to play it like this because I think my character, she's angry here. But then the other character doesn't give you the line angrily and doesn't scold you. They whisper it. And so instead of going back at them with anger, you're going to whisper a little. You're going to go, maybe you're going to whisper at them or say, why would you do that? Instead of, why would you do that? You know? So it's kind of a dance. It's always a dance in everything.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And then sometimes Dave is very specific, or whatever director you're working with is very specific. And they say, let's have it this way, because I know that you're going to have a ship coming from behind here. And then all of a sudden these lights are going to come across the screen. So no, you can't be too sweet there. It's much more intense. And you're like, oh, okay. But this is your director. So now your director is kind of dancing with you. You get what I mean? It's
that's beautiful.
It's a dance. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, I can't wait to see how y'all dance together in the future. Because obviously, like, we all know the story is not done. But that's what I'm looking forward to in this. So, to share a very personal thing, but something that I think these characters can help, because my children are not alone in these kinds of feelings, like, right? And I know as a father, if I'm seeing this, there are other parents out there in our situation, or other kids. But when Michael first came to us, the system is tough. It's a really hard system. Everyone involved, it's just tough for everybody, right?
Yeah.
When Michael is our youngest, he's the only one that we went through the process and saw pictures and did all the things that people think about, right? Everybody else just kind of showed up and we ran. Michael wasn't that. And 2 weeks before we were supposed to meet him for the first time, we found out that he had a brother. And there was a new DCS caseworker who had taken their case. And I hate talking about these things this way because they're people, and the way the system has to work. It's not anyone's fault. That's just how it has to work. And they said, well, there was a new worker and she wanted them to be together, and they hadn't lived together in years. And so Michael didn't even remember him anymore, and they had just met. So he said, of course, that's what you want to do. Like, they're bio siblings, of course.
Yeah.
And we met the other brother and all of that. We had our visits, and they fast-tracked their move-in. And so they came 2 weeks after we met them, which is great and wonderful. And this is where I relate to the Martez sisters so much, because I feel like this is my story of the dance. This is what I'm bringing into the characters too. Maybe that's what it is. But I see a lot of my son in Trace. And Michael is he feels every single emotion with the most intensity, the most beautiful, and the other side. It's like that is who he is. But he's he's good. He's just good. And that's who Trace is. That's how I feel when I see her. And I feel like I am heartbroken for her, because I feel like what I bring to her, I know she needs to leave Rafa. Like, I know, and I don't know what's going on with them right now, but like that choice that has to happen. And unfortunately, in our home, in our situation, when the two brothers came together, there's things called trauma bonding, that sometimes siblings go through too much trauma together. Again, nothing good brought any of our children into our house. And when some of these people who share trauma or share things together, they're constantly living in the state of that trauma. They cannot break through it because it happened too much together. And that's what started to happen. I would see my son, who I did not know very well yet, but like I would see him taking him to preschool at the time, he'd be one child, and we'd come home and he was a different child. The minute he would see his brother, he just became someone different. And it was a very dangerous situation for them to be together. And the other brother was doing the same things. And unfortunately, the older brother, after a few weeks with us, went into a psychiatric ward, and it was hard. And we spent like 2 months with him in the hospital. But we saw our son doing better. And it sounds so horrible. And this is the hard stuff about fostering and adopting that isn't talked about enough, but it's the reality of the situation. Wow. And so I can't help but I look at these characters and I see Trace trying so hard to overcome everything that is thrown her way. And I feel heartbroken that the longer she stays with Rafa, like, if she's going to be able to really fully get past and get to where she needs to go. And that's a story that I think is really important, because it's a side of, in Star Wars particularly, that deals a lot with characters who have loss. We don't really see the traumatic side of loss in Star Wars. We always see the heroes overcome, and that's really wonderful and important. And I love the hope that Star Wars brings, but sometimes we need to see that sometimes there just isn't coming back together, you know? Yeah. And I hate to say that to you. I'm sure he wants to see your sister, but you know, I think, and even Michael, he's like, that reminds me of my brother. And there's that edge to Rafa that she has is understandable 100%. I'm not villainizing that character, but I really have to say, and I'm so glad you said yes, because I have to say thank you, because you're bringing a sensitivity to this character that I'm not sure everyone could. And it's really beautiful. It has affected our family, like, in a really, really positive way, you know? So for my son to see that level of complexity and that level of like uniqueness, playing out in this thing that he loves, is just, I know it's going to help him, you know, whatever their story ends up being. But I'm very grateful to everyone and to the writers and all of that for showing that story and treating it as respectfully as they should, because, you know, like, honestly, how you play Trace, you could really not like Rafa. Like, she is very, like, she can be unlikable. Yeah. But it's not treated that way. We all understand where she is coming from.
She's torn. Know? She's torn.
Yeah. And it's the same way I feel about Michael's older brother. Like, I can't. And it was, you know, it was the hardest time of my entire life. A lot of things in the house went down in ways, you know, and it was very hard. And we had another child here at the same, it was a lot of layers, you know, and I will never be the same way again because I lost a child, you know, I thought, and, you know, no one wants to see an 8-year-old in a psychiatric ward. Like, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. But we knew that we had to, because I don't think Michael would be where he is now if that had stayed, you know? Yeah. And like I said, it's the dance, I'm sure, but I bring this story to Trace and Rob, and I saw my family I saw my children in Star Wars in a way in which I never thought I would actually be able to see characters in something like that. And it just means a lot. And it means a lot in this show that you were mentioning earlier is kind of for kids, but also not for kids. And I think these characters really respect children and give them complex things to think about. The show does not talk down to anyone, you know, and it's really, I'm very, very fortunate for that. But I really did. And I do want to just say thank you from the bottom of my heart for playing this character so well that I know you've affected at least one human being on a very, 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 well, two, because me too. But you've affected my son in the most beautiful way, and showing him that you can go through these things and still have a heart of gold at the end of it.
That's so crazy that you said that right now. Wow. Well, first of all, let me just address the fact that, you know, people start this career for different reasons. Mine was for the capacity it gives you to connect with other humans. I love connecting with people. I love talking to people. It doesn't matter if I'm getting ice cream or I don't know, ordering a shake. Or going to the supermarket. I like talking to people. So the fact that that's happened for me means I've done my job, and that's what that was my quest, right? So thank you for saying that. I'm very touched and appreciative of you, and so grateful that your son had that, because I know as a little girl, I wanted to see myself in people, and I always looked for how am I like them. Or how are they like me? So that means one life is already brighter, right? Better because of it. And then Heart of Gold, I was going to tell you. So one day we were recording and Dave was like, Trace is the Heart of Gold. That's what Trace is. Trace. And so the fact that you said that and that it transferred over is just like, wow. You know, the director's vision became tangible. It was seen and felt that way. And you know, that's exactly how I saw Trace. I was like, oh, she knows this is wrong, and she knows Rafa's going to mess up again, but she doesn't want Rafa not to love her. That's really what it is. She's like, oh, I don't want to let Rafa down. But Rafa's letting all these people down, you know? No, this isn't good. Oh, come on, Rafa. You know, it's constantly like, just get it right, Rafa. And I feel like we all have people in our families or close circles that have kind of given us a lesson similar to that, or even in relationships like a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You know, you meet those people and you're like, God, you could be so great, but you're gonna mess up. Why? And, you know, Rafa does come from a good place underneath it all. She just has a lot more. She's the oldest child, and I think she has a lot more baggage, and also her views on life. You know, you could be raised by the same parents and just see blue skies, and the other one sees gray. That's a whole other topic, right?
100%.
So, you know, I'm glad that that's what you saw in Trace, because that's what I saw too, and awesome. I know it was Dave's vision as well.
Well, that makes my heart happy. Yeah, I just think, you know, this is the power of storytelling. Like, it's powerful when you let it in. And maybe that comes back to trust again. That seems to be like the center of this conversation, right? Like, if you trust the show that you're viewing, let it guide you. Like, don't, you know, Star Wars, let's just be like, it is really big and people have a lot of expectations that they bring with it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's really dangerous. It's really dangerous to bring that into it, because let the story move you, you know? And I love that you talk about connecting with people, because that's one of the things that I love about, you know, before I had this podcast, Star Wars was just mine. I didn't have really any friends that were really into it, and being able to speak to Star Wars on a queer level has allowed me to meet other queer people that are in, like, and I feel seen in a way that I personally have never been seen. Being able to share our stories about our children has like opened doors up to things that I wasn't anticipating, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the things that's so interesting, and I'm sure as an actor you hear these things, because I'm sure lots of people share their stories with you, you know, and you get to see how your characters are viewed by different people, and how we put our story, we project ourselves, we dance with you in a little bit of a different way, and it's so beautiful when I see that, you know. And sometimes I get really nervous when I see fans in particular, especially something like Star Wars that has a lot of very devoted fans, that they can only project their story on these characters, and this unwillingness to let another person do that. It causes a lot of friction, you know. And I love that you describe it as a dance like that. I just haven't heard that, and it's really, really beautiful, because I think the same way goes with actors to fans and vice. I would imagine it's all this dance that somehow you obviously didn't.
It's like an energetic dance. It's almost like we're sharing energy, and now I get to see who you are, And I'm like, oh my God, I never would have expected this, and now I know about Michael. So now I know, now I understand your view on Trace and Rafa and the Martez sisters, and it connects us, right? Now we're like, now we get each other on another level, and it creates a bond. Yeah, I know what you're saying about the fans. I think sometimes, some people want to see more of action scenes. Some people they don't want to know anything about the mushy backstory. They don't care about an orphan or whatever, because it's not their reality.
Yep.
But because it's something you've seen up close, and because it's something anyone that is Latina or Latino that has seen Star Wars before and is like, wow, I've never seen myself. Well, now I see someone with a Z. Their last name ends with a Z. Yep. That's crazy, or an S. Yep. Now you feel seen. And so immediately you feel more drawn to it. You feel like somebody finally gets you. So, I know it was weird to have such great feedback, and then also you learn of other people, and you're like, wow, and you take it all with a grain of salt and a smile. I think an open heart, most importantly, understanding that people have their desires to see certain things, and you can't control them. But no matter what, I know Trace will remain the heart of gold. I know she will. I just feel it.
100%. And that's why she and Ahsoka need to start dating, because I mean, I don't know. Did you watch the episodes?
What do you mean? Which ones?
Like the Trace episodes?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So Ahsoka's like my favorite character, and then I got to see her. I called it her lesbian jumpsuit, because she's in her little jumpsuit, and then out comes Trace with a little pompadour, and I was like, oh, this is
my God,
so wonderful. This is like, oh my God, like there's already Ahsoka seems like a queer character, but here we go. We're so close.
Oh my God. Have you ever spoken with Ashley? I wonder what she would say. I would love to hear her take on it.
But you can set us up, because I would love to, just put us together. I'm sure you can text her right now.
Reach out. Yeah.
No, I was already emotional. Yeah. Ahsoka's everything. Like,
oh my gosh, I know. What a well-crafted character.
Oh, there was an episode of Clone Wars that I am not the same human being after watching it. Like, not at all. Like, it affected me on such a deep level, and learning to walk away without hate about all the people that left, that, you come out, and a lot of us lose a lot of people. It is what it is. And it's heartbreaking. Yep. And to learn to do that without being upset or not seeing only the bad in other people is really hard to do, but it's possible, and that's what Trace does. Like, that's the heart of gold. It is not easy. You've got to polish that heart up every once in a while. I'd imagine, like, she's got a lot of stuff to come through, she's got to polish it up, but it takes work. And if you love yourself enough, you will do the work to polish yourself up, and it's a really, really beautiful thing. Question that you probably can't even remotely answer.
No.
Where do you see the future of Trace? Where do you see her? Man. Let's say 50 years from now, because we all know there's no stories with her, because we all know she's coming back.
I don't know. Gosh.
Okay, then can I put you on the spot? Are you an improv? Okay, just let's decorate you and Ahsoka's house. What do y'all have together? Do you adopt children together? Because, oh my God. Ahsoka leaves the Jedi. She can have attachments. She can have beautiful children that she doesn't need to kidnap and then put in this like weird place that they don't allow to love one another, which is thank you to the Martez sisters for teaching Ahsoka that you can love people.
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be a house full of children and full of love.
I love it. All right. And a lot of cars, right? For Trace.
A lot
to
of
work
cars,
on,
yes, absolutely. Lots of cars for me to work on. I'll handle anything technical in the house, anything with an engine.
Uh-huh.
I'll handle. I'll probably even get into carpentry. What the hell?
I love. There we go. I love it. I love it.
Or welding.
All right,
welding.
Okay. But she does look. Trace looks pretty hot in that little welder's outfit. Let's be honest.
More welding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I know you've touched on this a little, but we do talk about representation a lot on this show.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you in general? You mentioned being a little girl and looking for those things. What does it mean to you as an actor to help give that to people?
Well, I think if you don't see stories about yourself and your life, your culture, you don't really have anything to identify with besides your immediate circle. And there's something that happens when your life is exposed, right? You're like, oh, we do that. Oh, my grandma always says that. You start feeling like, oh yeah, this is what people's lives are like as well. It's not just me. Yeah. It's not just my home. I think that's so important. And I always tell all my friends of any culture, even that's not Latino culture, I say, if it's an Asian culture, if it's Eastern European, whatever it is, there's something that happens to a person that there aren't words to describe it. It's just a feeling of gratefulness and feeling connected and feeling like people can understand you. And I think it's so important. I tell everybody, I rant about it sometimes because I get upset. Sometimes they say, oh no, there are Latinos. And I'm like, really, where are they? Because I don't see them. I'm looking for them. I don't see them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there's stories, that we're not just meant to be workers at the back of the restaurant. We're not just meant to be cleaning ladies. We're not just meant to, and we are progressing, but I feel that it is so important that kids see more women leading for the girls, same-sex marriages, same-sex partners, or whatever it is that person is feeling at that moment. It gives you a sense of understanding and worldliness as well, where you feel like, oh, I understand all cultures. That's also important. I don't want to just see Latinos everywhere. I know that's not the truth. Yep. That's not what's really out there. So why would I want that only, Yep. So the same way I want you to feel seen, I want to feel seen. I want everybody to be able to identify with someone they see on a show or they see on a play or whatever, singing on a stage, whatever it is, or doctors, people in important positions that are I guess portrayed on film and on TV or written about. It's so important, and I can't emphasize it enough. And I won't stop until it feels like there's more of a sense of equality going on. Yeah, because it affects little girls. I talk about little girls because of my nieces. They're not back home. They're not around because we don't live here. So in Miami, so we don't get to hang out with them enough. And I see how the lack of exposure to their culture has affected them. They're like, we're not Cuban, because their father's Cuban American. Okay. I say, absolutely, you're Cuban. You're Cuban American. We need to teach you how to salsa. Don't you love tostones? Guess what? That's a Cuban thing. I'm like, come on, and get them up and loosen them up. They're like, I can't do it. I'm like, yes, you can. It's in your blood. You are Cuban. How are you not going to be able to do it? So that stuff, that kind of emphasizing of your culture and support will transform a child's life. They will go from, I'm American, I don't know what that is, to I'm American and I'm Cuban. I can do both. Yep. I can love both. And wow, right there, doors opened, more connections, more connectivity to other people. I really hope that parents take the time to, I feel like you do, absolutely.
I hope so.
To really show their kids, hey, it doesn't just end here. It's not just what you're learning at school. Or maybe if there were more Latinos on TV, it wouldn't even be a subject because they would see it all the time, right? So that's why I push for more stories. We need more Latino stories. And I have a feeling as my career goes on and continues to develop, I will start creating stories around Latino families and how, I can't even express the joy I feel being around the music, my mom cleaning, hearing her cumbia, because my mom's Mexican, my father's Cuban, and just hearing her singing with her little, her broom. It's like a movie. You're like, oh, I've seen that in a movie. It's because art imitates life.
Very 100%. And then art can also affect life too. It's the dance. It's it's those choices. And again, it comes back to trust. Like, keeps being, if you trust a show and let it move you in a direction that you weren't sure it was going to go to, imagine what might happen if you just unfold your arms and just let it like take you. Who knows where you're going to go, and who knows what experiences that like, or connections that maybe, as a dude, like a lot of us, we're not allowed to be in touch with our emotions super easily. So if you let it go, like match some of these nerves that things, and you go, oh my gosh, like whoa. And you start addressing things and polish those little hearts of gold that are in all of us.
Absolutely.
Some of us just don't want to do the work to polish up, because it's hard.
Yeah. Openness.
That's perfect. We're going to end on openness, because that is a very important lesson for everybody, for Star Wars fans, for people in life, for parents, like you said, is aunts. Openness, teaching people to be open to who they are and how they want to live, and teaching people to let other people be open and enjoy how they want to live too, and like learn to love those differences in people. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing.
It could be transformational.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much. Where can people find you? Is there anything coming up that you want people to know about? Like, when is Trace coming back?
Yeah, right. I'll email you the NDA.
Okay, there you go.
I actually have a film coming out on August 5th. I'm not sure if everyone is a horror fan or not. If you don't like it, it's all good. You don't got to watch it. But if you are a horror fan, it's going to be creepy. It's going to be one of those that you're sitting there and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be alone in this room. Am I alone? I don't know what's happening right now.
So I can't watch this with my kids.
Depends. How old are they?
7, 8, and 11.
Oh my gosh. Maybe the 11-year-old. It's kind of it's a little bit they're snakes. That's all I got to say. They're snakes.
Okay, well, we live in the desert. We're not afraid of any rattlesnakes. We see them pretty regularly.
All right. Your call.
Or I'm going to be afraid of them now. Maybe I'll be afraid of them now.
It's called The Old Ways, and it's going to be on Netflix starting August 5th. So you check it out. Check out the trailer and see what you think. And yes, I hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to my story when you're my guest over here.
I loved it. Please give Michael an extra big hug for me. And and thank you, Bryan, for having me. It was an honor. And I really hope that we can meet again to talk about how things are evolving and how we're feeling more seen every day.
There we go. I love it. Thank you very, very much. All
right. Mwah. Big hugs.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
And more importantly, I'm back.
My baby is back.
Baby is back.
What'd you think, Pop? Because you were not there in the conversation, but what'd you think listening back to the conversation?
I'm super impressed with her. I mean, what a amazingly impressive person. I liked listening to her thoughts on things, her take on, the Star Wars universe, all of those things.
She was not shy.
No.
It was great.
No. Yeah. Very interesting how, like, these, she's participated in, Clone Wars and now the Bad Batch and just all the secrecy that we don't know any of that stuff as just the average person watching shows. We don't get to know the behind the scenes, but Now, this is the second person we've had on
Yep.
that is part of that world, that is an actor in it. And they've shared a few things just about the process through the course of conversation. And you're like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I know I've said this a few times, but I can't say it enough how engaged she was and how present. I was just really impressed, and I'm very grateful. Because, yeah, like
She was very present.
just very present and gave herself. It was great. I'm just very grateful. And then she's stayed in contact and, sends Michael hugs and all of those things, which is really, really sweet. And it, honestly, I don't know if I would have been able to share what I shared if she wasn't so present, because we have not talked about that at all on this podcast, because it's very painful to talk about. It's very painful to relive. We have to live with it every day. And can you believe the things that we talk about on this podcast?
We do talk about a lot of stuff. Half the time I'm surprised it comes out of my mouth too. But and when I'm not being surprised, I'm just surprised it comes out of yours. But yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
That definitely was not planned
No.
to talk about that kind of stuff. It just kind of happened. I don't know if I totally know when or why. Actually, maybe I do. Actually, I think it was Grogu and Din Djarin, and that relationship just really spoke to me in a way that Star Wars hasn't spoken to me before. And I think it unlocked this door in a way of I don't know, honestly, having this podcast has made me much softer, like in a good way. And I think in a really good way, and healthy to talk about things that I never talked about before. So it's been great. But how was it for you to listen back to part of our story? And I didn't go into a lot of detail.
No, it's surreal. It's very surreal. It's still to this day, we've often talked about it as being the end of an innocence in a way. We never thought we'd be there. It really affected the entire family. And those were some very difficult choices that were presented.
Yep.
And decisions that had to be made. There was no right. There just didn't feel like a right.
It was no winning.
It was no winning. Yeah.
I mean, having a child in a hospital is already sad and scary.
And now having a child who's gone through everything that the child had already gone through, and now to know
That we put him through that too. In a way.
that we
needed,
just were one more that contributed to it.
we
Yeah.
needed to, when he first went into the hospital, we had no idea that he wouldn't come back home.
Correct.
But the family and the energy in the house, and most importantly, Michael's well-being and emotional state really dictated that he could not come back.
Right.
And it was just, it gutted us. And honestly, we have not been the same ever since. We really haven't. You're right. It was an innocence lost. I didn't think I wanted to talk about that because it is.
And I don't even know if we're really talking about it, or
Probably
if we
not.
really are ready to talk about it. But
Yeah.
maybe one day. But just
Yeah. It's
only so much you want to share.
It is, and it's really difficult because I know there's a part of us that feels guilty. I know it needed to be done, but that doesn't. The mind might know that it needed to be done, but the heart hasn't quite caught up there.
And
yet.
we weren't completely in control of making that decision anyway. That was made on a higher level, higher than us.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, that's part of the foster story that, should be talked about. It's the sad part. It's the really hard part. But we are big advocates for fostering and adopting.
100%.
And that has become a big part of the show. So, I mean, you should be fully transparent about the ups and the downs. It's all wonderful. At the end, it's all... I can't say it's all wonderful after talking about this, but anyways, the end of the story for Michael has been really wonderful. So, honestly, Brigitte, thank you very, very, very much. Again, I love the Martez sisters. This is why I connected to those characters so much. I see so much Michael in Trace, and I see the other in Rafa, and they really, really, really spoke to me on a very fundamental core level. So thank you, Bridget, for taking your time to do that. Tom, do you have anything else to say?
No.
Where can people find us, Thomas?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask you, Brian. Where can people find us? I know where I live, and I'm always here. I work out of the house, or I'm on the road. So, but I'm not giving you that, people.
Well, you can find me and the show at Serving Pink Milk on Twitter. You can see Tom's on Twitter at Tom Sips Pink Milk, but he ain't gonna go back on there. I think he's tweeted once.
Oh, I might. You never know. Stay tuned.
Anyways, if you have any comments or want to say anything to us, you can shoot us an email at servingpinkmilk@gmail.com. And until next time, thank you very much. Bridget, a gigantic thank you to you.
Thank you.
And Thomas, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Drink up.
Drink up.